you go ahead and get your entries in for that.
All right, well, Selfless have made their choice for the second map also. It's going to be Nepal. So we've got Hollywood, then Nepal for sure, and then we'll random up a third map in case it is necessary. But Hollywood and Nepal, of course, different game modes. I think I would favor Selfless on Hollywood, which is kind of interesting that that was LG Evil's pick, but we're going to find out pretty soon here. Dorado is actually getting randomed up as the third and final map if we need to go to it. So Selfless versus LGE, starting to ready up. I think we're going to get into the action momentarily. Are you excited, John?
This is going to be great, man. And if we require a third map, by the way, we'll be going to the streets of Dorado. We haven't seen too much of Dorado, although I have seen it as the third map in a couple of series so far. But we've had a lot of 2-0s. So I wonder if this is going to go all the way. Selfless LGE for the chance to go up against Envious. It's going to be pretty good from here on out.
Yeah, it's actually a bit surprising, in fact, that the upper bracket had 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 all the way down, even in the winner's bracket final with Rogue Envious. It's kind of unusual, I think, for there to be just heavily favored teams like that in the winner's bracket. And the lower bracket, we've seen a couple of 2-1s, Selfless over Splice and LG Evil over Cloud9. So much more parity, I think, down here in the lower bracket, but it's going to be LG Evil readying up first. As soon as Selfless are here, we can get started. But again, thanks everyone for showing up, and use this time to grab yourself a snack, refreshment, use the restroom, do whatever you got to do, because once these games are started, we're going to be rolling through as quick as we can all the way through the grand finals. Send out your tweets, let your other Overwatch playing buddies know that this tournament is going to be winding down soon.
That's right. You can go ahead and give us a message as well. Although, you know, we'll be busy casting, but we'll do our best in between maps at Ask Joshi and Jorisar. Those Twitter handles are on your screen. Let us know what you think, or if you have any predictions for the coming matches as well, feel free to let us know so you get to look smug in approximately 20 minutes time when you either have or have not made the correct guess. First map, Hollywood. Second map, Nepal and Dorado for a tiebreaker as necessary as Selfless take on Luminosity Gaming Evil.
Any moment now, I'm going to go ahead and shame Selfless because everyone else has been readied up for a while. There's the ready up from Kresnik. I didn't even have to shame them. That's good.
I was this close to explaining why our TVs were 29.97 frames per second. Then I realized it was a troll.
Ah, gotcha. But we are now into Hollywood loading up, and we've got, I believe it's Selfless on the defense starting off. Indeed, that is the case. It's going to be Luminosity Gaming Evil starting on the attack. And again, this was Luminosity's map choice, so I do expect to see some nice gameplay out of them, some interesting strats. I think they have been running triple tank plus soldier themselves for a long time. They may surprise us with a 2-2-2. Just depends what they're feeling here on this point A attack. But Train has quite a few different heroes that he can flex to. Jake is one of the damage players that can play Soldier or Pharah as needed. Vol is actually an incredibly good Zarya. If you're unfamiliar with his play, he is one of the most consistent Zarya players, I think, this year that I've seen in North America. So I expect to see some fat Graviton surges out of him as well.
Well, we'll see how quickly they can actually load that up onto point one, because the defense are getting into place. Let's go ahead and check them out. Selfless are busy getting in position, and by getting in position, we mean, of course, killing all of the railings. Kresnik once again on Reinhardt, no surprise there. Defran on Soldier 76, Emong on Roadhog, Sinatra once again, that seemingly invincible flanking Tracer. Michael 3D will be on the Ana, and Dak, of course, once again on Lucia.
Well, Super is actually loading up Orisa. I don't expect to see that as we actually get the doors open, but Selfless are going to be playing... yeah, Nepal's the next map. Save Orisa for Sanctum, as that's basically the only place she's gotten any value this year, and it's going to be Selfless attacking with their, Selfless defending with their tried and true Selfless comp, everyone on their main roles that you would expect. And now the doors are finally open. It is going to be Super back on the Reinhardt as expected. Train is going to be opening up with the Hog. So triple tank plus Soldier. Jake is going to get killed long range by Defran instantly to start this fight.
Very awkward, but admittedly not too much time lost. Just back into spawn, patiently wait, and another second or two after that. Selfless being so unbelievably aggressive. They could actually do well with dropping back just a little bit and waiting for someone to put their heads above the parapet so they can get that individual kill. So close to spawn, it doesn't make too much of a difference, but I guess every second counts. Looking for Soldier once again. Kresnik able to get the fire strike off, but that's about it as they start to be pushed back. Kresnik now, oh, he's a little bit offside.
check this out. It's Selfless pushing up so far forward that it's forcing LGE to play their game, which is obviously an important tactic if you can make it happen. But Jake and Train find Sinatra and Dak. They've actually got the 6v4 advantage. So Selfless, it might be backfiring just a little bit. That's 4 deaths from Selfless, and they cannot find a kill. Point A might be in the bag here.
It looked really nice when you're able to surround the opposing team, right? But ultimately, Kresnik was just too far the other side, and it was so difficult for anyone on Selfless to get shield. As good as they are, shield versus no shield just made it easy for the rest of the team to get the 1 or 2 pick. And I have to say here, they're doing a very good job, our LGE, of taking advantage.
More and more often, we're seeing nano boosts used on the soldier players before they have tactical visor ready, and Jake actually just received the nano boost there and didn't kill anything with it. So that's kind of interesting how often that tactic is being employed.
Ouch.
And Selfless are actually battling back here because of it. It's going to be Michael 3D actually nano boosting Sinatra, and the Pulse Bomb finds a kill on Vol. Rob 420 falls shortly after, and suddenly it's not so one-sided anymore. 77.7 is all that LGE are able to get.
LG Evil, I mean, the way they came back from that, Selfless, that was incredible. By the way, for anyone wondering, I've got you in my Helix rocket to the face, is technically what Jake just said. He did lose his ultimate, he did go back down to 0, and no, he didn't get a single bullet off. Defran was right there.
LGE used the sound barrier, but still have a casualty. Train and Jake both down now. It's a 4v4 on the point, and Super is getting surrounded. Pulse Bomb goes out onto him. Sinatra finding that huge target, of course, as he's hopping around with the shield up. But a Nano Boost is going to get committed onto Vol. That's rather interesting. The attacking team choosing to use that ultimate in kind of a 3v3 situation. Dak is going to pop the sound barrier just for himself to continue this stall out. They don't want to give A up at all.
Well, ultimates being used, resulting ultimates being used there. Dak needed to do that to stop A being given up at all, but now it's a little bit of a staggered kill. Reinhardt going down, Michael 3D, only an honor on the point is not going to be good news indeed. They will have to pull back and regroup. In fact, if I were, I'm not even sure I would have ventured in there with honor, but they have bought themselves at least a second or two. Defran now getting ready on the high ground. Selfless know that their defense now relies on making sure that they don't relinquish that.
We're seeing very liberal use of ultimates this game so far. They want to gain every advantage that they can. We've got nano boosts without combos. We've got one-man sound barriers coming out, and I've seen that actually a couple of times today. So teams are getting a little bit more aggressive with their ultimate usage just to gain small advantages. And Train finding the hook combo on Sinatra gives LG another little window of opportunity here. The Graviton Surge coming out from Vol catches almost everybody. They're able to just pound all the tanks inside that Graviton well, and it's going to be the cart moving free and clear again.
That was amazing. Literally everybody scattering as if on command. Well, kind of on command from Defran, who had the nano visor from up top. 5 different players moving from all sides, and then Defran getting picked off by Train there with a rather brutal hook to the face. Luminosity Gaming Evil, excellent communications here as Super rejoins the team.
Well, the cart got a lot of mileage off of that wipe, so the Graviton Surge coming up big, and they still have a Earth Shatter ready to go as well. Jake gets a long-range kill onto Emong before he can really get into position, and now Dak is down as well. It's a 6v4 for LGE, pushing forward on Kresnik. He's got his shield up, but he's getting hammered by the enemy Reinhardt. He goes down eventually to Train, grabbing himself a quick double, and Sinatra's on the cart trying to stall it as long as he possibly can, but again, even Tracer only has 150 health. It doesn't matter how good you are at blinking around if anyone happens to hit you with something.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's really, to be honest, it's really good when Sinatra was on King's Row and no one seemed to be able to hit him. But here, it's a little bit of a different story. Roadhog battle going on here, but with the Zarya bubble as well, Train is able to win out. The rest of the guys are just not able to back him up, unfortunately. It was going to be a pincer movement from 2 directions, and as things currently stand, Selfless are going to have to settle for 1. Sinatra goes down once again to a hammer to the face thanks to Reinhardt, and that is another 1 fight for LG Evil, who power through to the final point.
What is happening to Selfless here? They're trickling like crazy, and Jake specifically is taking advantage of it every time. Watching those spawn doors, the cart itself does reach the checkpoint. They've got 3 minutes left here to push through the final stretch. Train and Jake grabbing up those last kills, being Selfless. They need to gather up. They need to actually work on some old combos here. They've got Earth Shatter, Whole Hog, Pulse Bomb all ready to go, and I don't know, Jake is saying no soldier. I'm not sure what that's about, but the cart itself is going to continue moving as Sinatra gets in here to try to jam things up.
Well, Defran was Diva just now for a bit, but he is on Soldier and coming back up. I did think Defran and Emong were really, like, they got staggered there on Diva and Roadhog at the end of that engagement, just kind of giving away 10 to 15 seconds. Emong did get a single kill, but it really wasn't worth it. I'd like to see them do more of what they're doing now, grouping up and taking them at a fair fight in a group, because Selfless have proven to be really good at that. A nice zoning ultimate there from Emong keeps everyone back, but not quite getting the kills that they were expecting.
Sinatra still doing a good job, just constantly hanging around the rear bumper of that cart, but Vol, with the excellent precision, gets the kill on to Tracer, and we've got Dak actually retreating back to the rest of his team, but LGE have seemed to not really have too much difficulty, and they've got 5 ultimates to work with here against only support ultimates for Selfless.
Sinatra has been significantly less effective with Tracer now, just been dying without getting kills for the last 2 or 3 times. He's going to be trying again. The flanks have just been really difficult for him to spot. Super has been pointing the shield in this direction all the time. Another Earthshatter there trying to spot and managing to get Reinhardt, pardon me. Earthshatter coming down now as they continue on top of the card. Dak stalling for as long as he can, but all of the kills are going the way of LGE right now, and they are looking like they're about to complete.
Triple tank plus soldier is just working. There's really nothing else you can say about it. The Selfless defense is looking as trickly as it has ever looked, and Kresnik actually swaps off the Reinhardt to go to Diva to try and just get some more mobility. He gets popped out of his suit rather early. Dak is going to go down. Rob 420 gets removed from the picture, but LGE still have 5 people on the cart itself as one Selfless defender at a time keeps coming out here. They will complete the map with 51 seconds left on the clock, and that was a really impressive run through the second and third stretches of Hollywood.
Sinatra redeeming a little bit towards the end there, managing to get an excellent pulse bomb and combining very well with Defran to get 2 more kills, but it wasn't enough to prevent the cart from going completely to the 3rd point. So 51 seconds on the board as we look to flip sides and see what we can do now. This is going to be interesting, man. It's not an awful lot of time left in the time bank, but I think the biggest thing that we're going to be playing for, obviously, is going to be for a full hold, just a nice wide open space on point A to play with. And this will determine, of course, who goes home with the points on the board first.
Yeah, I think LGE very typically will play the triple tank soldier on defense, and as time ticks down here, you can get a look at that for yourselves. It's, again, whatever the players are most comfortable with, they're going to continue playing, and LGE just have never really been a dive team. Their tank play is quite superb, and the fact that they can use multiple crowd control ultimates allowed them to actually breeze through there. Graviton Surge on one fight, Earthshatter on the next, Whole Hog on the next, and continue rotating through them, and suddenly you find yourself at the end of the map finishing the run. And now Selfless, they're going to be loading up, of course, the Selfless comp once again. Same heroes as usual, so they're going to have to figure out a different way to get some kills on LGE. Whatever happened last time was not working out with the trickle defense.
One other thing that I suppose changed, if you like, going into this map, well, we did notice that Sinatra wasn't really getting the flanks. It wasn't able to find the kills sort of in the 2nd and 3rd points there. And it almost feels like LG Evil kind of switched on to him and went, look, the moment someone sees Tracer, we need to collapse and make sure that that pick goes out first. What should Sinatra be doing, or is there anything that he could be doing to switch it up and get back into the groove that he was in on King's Row?
He just needs to stay alive better, and when you're facing better opponents, that gets harder and harder as any hero. So maybe just keep your distance from Zarya, as I saw Vol actually get the last bit of damage on him a couple of times. Nice dodge of the Fire Strike there, keeps Sinatra healthy, but Selfless are taking a roundabout method here. Sinatra and Emong looping around to the side. Emong whiffs the hook, unfortunately not able to find that early kill, and as the fight breaks down around the point, they're really all over the place here. There's a pin, actually, long-range pin onto Vol. Kresnik, along with Michael 3D, able to take out that Zarya, gives him a slight window here.
Oh, wow, and Sinatra is basically zoning everyone out now as well, going all the way into the street space already. 2 kills now for LG Evil. They're coming back in. Pulse Bomb goes down. Manages to get Super, doing an excellent job looking for the support.
Wow.
Won't be able to see them, but it doesn't matter. The point gets taken in the meantime, and it looks like they're doing a good job in this team fight as well.
Selfless gave up A with 4 people alive. They allowed themselves to be chased all the way into the streets, and Roadhog and Lucio were both too slow to get back to the point as it captured. So 5.5 minutes will be on the clock here for Selfless to continue pushing through. Vol and Avast find a couple of kills there, so they're doing their best spawn camp impression, but at the moment it's still a 3v3, so they are expected to get wiped up here. Emong blasting them down, and finally that cart will be free to move, and they're going to get quite a lot of distance off of this. I don't think anyone on LGE is going to be brave enough enough to try to contest 1v3 or 1v4 like Sinatra was on the other side. So it's going to get quite a bit of distance if they 3-push, that is, but they're not. They're going to force their way up here and try to find some picks early on.
And as soon as we mentioned that on the third point, Sinatra was maybe having a little bit more of a difficult time, well, guess what happened? Contributing to something like 6 or 7 kills without actually dying. An excellent sticky pulse bomb. Doesn't actually get anyone, though. Managing to get Roadhog in the midriff. Jake finally taking Sinatra out with some Helix rockets there. And now we have Lucio coming on in with the sound barrier as the defense tries to stabilize here on West.
Well, Dufran was actually in a great position with the Nano Visor on the high ground, so he gets multiple kills. Not with the ultimate, but actually just the follow-up from the rest of the teammates. But the cart itself only has support standing on it now, and as Rob 420 and Avast get cleared out, that's another one team fight for Selfless. They didn't even lose anything, John, so they're going to continue pressing up into that spawn area. Sinatra, of course, one of the best at pulling these defenses into different directions. LGE, as good as they looked on offense, they've had a tough time here on D.
They certainly have, and being able to come up when it... Oh, wait, hang on a second. Excellent Bionade into Whole Hog, actually keeping the entire Luminosity team back. They will just have to move back in, and the cart getting an awful lot of free push as a result. Super coming out with the shield. Emong was good with the aim on the hook, but unfortunately ran straight into the shield. Right now, massive Graviton surge, looking to get kills off the back of it. Train with the Whole Hog, and that is a nanoed Whole Hog as well. Sinatra, though, coming back with the double pulse bomb. Ultimates all over the place, and the payload continues pushing.
How did 3 people survive that? LGE used every ultimate they had available. They used all the tank ultimates that I described earlier, where they usually rotate them. They used all 3, and Selfless still had 3 survivors. Dufran was up on the high ground, Sinatra just blinking out of things, and they even had a support left with them to get the job done, and the checkpoint, of course, will be reached. 5 minutes here for the final stretch, so even though LGE finished with some time on the clock, Selfless are saying that's child's play. We can get 10 times that, perhaps, as they continue rolling.
Yeah, staying comfortably apart from each other and just avoiding the crowd control ultimates, I guess. You'll get the staggered isolated kill here or there, but like you say, Joshy, when you do have 3 tank ultimates and people are still left alive, you have to start to look at their positioning and how they manage to get themselves in a place where you just can't kill them all. That was really well done on that final bit of the push by Selfless.
Super trying to get up to the cart just to stop it from moving finally. They're going to reach around the corner here, and Emong unfortunately can't get the hook there to keep Selfless moving, but it's going to be LGE. Rob 420 actually taking the first casualty as Dak finds him with some of those Lucio shots, and as the pulse bomb comes out onto Super, the Zarya bubble actually blocks it, so Vol's got a quite high energy. He's going to move forward and soak in some damage, but Dufran has the nano boost on him right now. The tactical visor is also active, but he doesn't have any good targets to shoot at. LGE finally regaining control of the cart and actually negating the nano visor is a really nice pickup for them to slow this offense down.
Nice stagger kill onto Emong as well. Avast getting extremely low at the end thanks to the Helix rocket from Dufran, but they're going to have to disengage without getting the kill onto Lucio as we now come on in for another round. Don't forget, 3:30 remaining on the clock. There is plenty of time at the moment for Selfless to try and complete here. Any time in the next couple of minutes will allow them to get the same, if not a better time than LGE. Dufran also with an excellent position up on the high ground. Headshot after headshot coming in from Soldier 76.
Nice ults, Emong and Sinatra both getting some picks there, and Emong with a hook combo onto Vol while the bubble was down. That just adds more momentum here. Train going down, Jake also dead. So LGE, even though they have a ton of ultimates, they don't have any bodies out here to use them. The parking spot is very, very close now. Nano Boost is going to go on to Super. He's got an Earth Shatter ready to go. He tried to bait Kresnik's Earth Shatter just now, but actually was unsuccessful. Kresnik didn't go for the bait. He uses the Shatter now, but still doesn't hit anything. The counter Shatter does actually hit Emong, but the attack visors are the bigger story here. Jake and Dufran both collecting some kills. Both Roadhogs are now out of play as well. Sinatra finds that pulse bomb. It's just Rob 420 on the cart with another nano boost onto Dufran. That'll clean things up. 2 minutes and 44 seconds left. That's about almost 3 times as much time for the extra rounds for Selfless.
Very nicely done at the end there. A really nice waiting with the nano boost and using it on Dufran, regardless of tactical visor, to zone out Jake, who was on the high ground looking for the Soldier 76, ending the round with a nano boosted emote. Very nice style points there going to Dufran.
The nano boosted emote does more damage than the regular emote. Did you know
Definitely does, man. Crippling damage.
Actually, if someone's emoting and the other team shows up unexpectedly, if you nano boost the emoter, they might survive longer. So there could actually be a tactical play. in some place somewhere, not here in Pro Play perhaps, but you see now it's going to be LGE back on the offense. They only have 1 minute to work with, and it took them a little bit longer than that to capture A the last time around. After they kind of got bullied toward their spawn a bit, they finally broke through, but this is going to be a much tougher ask here as they have to get all the way through Selfless. They're going to be playing more cautiously, you have to imagine, with only 60 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, it's trying to get this through to overtime and just get the payload as far as you possibly can. That has to be the name of the game here. A minute versus 2:44. Of course, once you start getting some defensive momentum going, it is possible to win a minute versus 2:44. You start building up your ultimates faster. You might be able to get the on stagger kill, and you can have an excellent defensive round, but it is all to do right now for Selfless.
Well, soon, actually, the doors are going to open, of course, and they're already up on the high ground, so they're looping around. They're playing it the same way that they were successful with last time. Super moving all the way around to the right side before putting that shield up actually saves them a lot of potential damage, but Emong is flanking. Sinatra and Defran also flanking. Emong unable to find a kill, but Jake is already down, so Selfless finding 2 picks as LGE actually answer right back. It's going to be Selfless, though, now with the advantage, taking out the supports. That will force a Vast and fall all the way back to spawn here, or they're just going to die. Sinatra will not let Lucio escape if he doesn't get safe.
Jake, Rob 420, and Vol, the 3 people that were victims of Defran to start that off. 15 seconds remaining at the moment, and LG Evil do not look like they are in particularly healthy shape. The Soldier 76 here has not been shut down, and the urgency means they don't have the time to take out to actually try and stop this. They're coming onto the high ground. They have to rush through now. Roadhog on 50% health. This isn't particularly good at all. Overtime gets triggered, and there is the tac visor. Oh no, and there's no shield going down early because Zarya and Reinhardt both down here. This should be it for Selfless.
Selfless, because they were able to deflect that first push with no ultimates, got their ultimates up much, much faster. Defran and Sinatra both coming up big with some kills in that final attempt from LGE is going to keep them limited to 0% capture progress on A. And John, you know what that means? All that Sombra, Selfless have to do. They could Sombra here, but I have to imagine that LG are going to have at least one person on the point here to try and deflect that. But yeah, honestly, 0.1%. They cannot leave the point at all in 2 minutes and 44 seconds. This is going to be rough.
It's going to be very rough indeed. It's possible to hold point A for 2 minutes and 44 seconds. We've seen that many times before, but quite often it involves, when people die, getting off the point, regrouping, coming back on, pushing the opponents off. You can't do that here. 0.0% on the point, of course, means that any progress is going to allow them to win. So a massively difficult ask right now for LGE.
Only 30 seconds left. They're locking in their usual composition. LGE staying with what they know and not trying to get fancy with anything, but mostly the positioning here is going to be what's important, as last time they got chased off the point entirely. Obviously, they can't do that this time when everything's at stake here. This is still just the first game in a BO3. Our next map is going to be a control map, so change of modes might actually be a nice change of pace for LGE if they do, in fact, drop this one.
Selfless out of the gates, looking for literally a percent on the point. We have to be so careful and so conservative with this defense here. And Super all over it, of course, with the shield. No shenanigans with crazy hero picks, exactly the same as you normally would expect. Emong getting the first kill onto a Vast. That is huge. It's now a 6v4 situation. Rob getting a consolation prize right now. Oh my god, it's only down to Super.
Super was like a toe away from just losing the game there before Rob 420 joined him. That was super scary. Emong just blasting everyone down, though, during the fight, and it's just Rob 420 left now. As he gets killed, it's game over. Hollywood going to Selfless, and this was LG Evil's pick, don't forget. So they picked the map, ended up losing 4-3 there, and we'll be moving on to, I believe it was Nepal for the second game, and it's going to be a bloodbath, I think, both sides. LGE trying to stave off defeat, and Selfless trying to keep that momentum into the finals if they can.
Super scary. I see what you did there.
Super is a player in this game.
Sinatra grabbing the play of the match, maybe not having the world's most efficient time at the end of their attacking round, but certainly more than making up for it here. Beautiful sticky there to finish things off, and that was the double pulse bomb that basically dictated that fight. Absolutely brutal stuff.
That certainly was the game changer. The fact that LG Evil used 4 ultimates, it was all 3 tanks plus a nano boost, And Selfless still survived with 3 players. That's how they, of course, were able to breeze through that final stretch. And it ended up, of course, being a one-sided victory anyway, as Selfless, all they had to get was 1 toe on the point there in extra rounds. But Nepal, again, shifting everything around here. I do expect LGE to stick with that same composition. Jake might be the only flex, maybe moving over to Pharah, perhaps even over to Genji. But at this point, even Sanctum can just mean different compositions across the board. So Nepal, lots of different heroes get a chance to shine on this map.
Let's be honest, we want more videos for the Orisa compilation that's going to happen.
Yeah, totally. The Orisa compilation video is going to be all Nepal Sanctum.
It is basically. You can set it to a beat, and there are just enough different VOD clips of kills on Sanctum that you could probably do that.
Yeah, what a sad compilation, though. At least she's going to get one. Like, Junkrat and Reaper don't even get to have highlight reels because they don't even exist in this game anymore. But Taimu actually did play Junkrat in yesterday's games very briefly, and he said never again because his aim is too shaky on it. But we've got the compositions getting lined up now. I do expect Kresnik to end up back on Reinhardt since we're starting out on the Shrine point. That Shield and Earthshatter both can be very valuable here. There he is back on the Reinhardt. And Kresnik does play Winston every once in a while, but I think 80-90% of the time you're going to see him on the Rhine.
Luminosity Gaming now finalizing things. Super, there we go, back onto the Reinhardt himself. So there will be no trolling, of course, today as they rush towards the point. And we have got Super, Vol, and Train. So on that triple tank, and of course, we have the double tank, the 2-2-2 combination coming out from Selfless once again, as Sumatra manages to get actually behind, but can't quite get some purchase onto Jake, who's in the backline as Soldier 76.
The Zarya bubbles need to be on point here to help defend against these great DPS players, but Sinatra, Michael 3D, and Kresnik the first to fall. LGE really stamping them out here in the opening fight. Emong still manages to get a consolation kill, might even get a second on ball before getting chased away and taken down.
Very important as well to get the first capture on this point, because it's really, you get the high ground advantage, but also you can see your opponents coming from very far away. Surprise attacks onto the point are almost impossible here, and Luminosity Evil are going to have that advantage to start things off, basically guaranteeing 25% no matter what happens in this fight. Now let's see if they can keep it going.
This is a very momentum-based point, I'll agree, and the fact that they won the first fight means their ults are starting to come online here, and Train actually ended up switching heroes. Super is going to have his shield up with the nano boost. Unfortunately, that nano is going to be a bit wasted because Emong's whole hog is just going to force him away. Rob420 and Jake both down here for LGE. Selfless getting a bit of momentum. Emong falls very low on health before getting finished off there. There's a tactical visor from Defran, really trying to help sweep up the bodies here, but Super still standing on the point, milking as much percentage out as he can.
Just about managing to eat that ultimate with his shield there before it goes down. But wow, an excellent series of headshots mean that Selfless completely decimate LG Evil at the very end there. Defran just pouring so much damage on the Soldier, so they retake the point. But 52% going the way of LG Evil. That first fight, obviously very important here.
Well, 12% for Selfless and Climbing. They finally reclaim it with the help of those ultimates, but this time it's going to be the CC ultimates again from LGE. The Graviton Surge by itself can sometimes mean a team victory, so we'll keep an eye on Vol as we move forward. There it is, grabs 3 or 4 members of Selfless. Kresnik specifically getting hooked and charged to make sure that that shield does not stay up, and that's going to be an easy team kill there for LGE. Emong does, again, grab himself a consolation prize. Every time Emong goes down, he's sure to take someone with him.
Now, if only he can do that at the start of the fight and pick the most, maybe pick someone nano boosted and in the middle of an ultimate, that would be rather decent right now. But unfortunately, the consolation, not quite what they're after. 63% place 36. Luminosity at the moment definitely taking the bull by the horns on Nepal. And they are looking to try and even the score here against Selfless in this lower bracket. But I guess it's kind of a lower bracket semi.
It is in fact the 4th place match, you can even call it that, but we've got the nano boost here onto Defran with the tactical visor active. He's just gunning down everyone in front of him, plenty of targets to shoot at there with Train on the Roadhog just being a bullet sponge there, and there's no res or anything possible here for LGE, so they're slowly but surely going to get cleaned out. Super and Vol are the last ones down, and Selfless will reclaim it again. 92% is all that LGE are able to get, so if they can just grab it back a single time, they have a lot of ults to do it with, they could actually walk away with the stage win still.
A lot of back and forth right now. The point having flipped 3 times at the moment, and it really does favor this attacking play. Very aggressive, be able to get in there, get the first couple of picks. The snowball onto the point can happen. You're not going to surprise anyone doing it, but brute force certainly does get rewarded. And look at this Emo trying to zone people out initially, buying themselves an extra couple of seconds with the whole hog. Super, he's rushing a little bit ahead of the rest of the team, but now they have grouped up again, looking to come up the stairs. Keep an eye out for Tracer in the back lines. Here comes Sinatra.
Sinatra still looking for some targets. Pulse Bomb goes out, but a triple kill with it. How did they get all stacked up like that? I've never seen a triple Pulse Bomb kill out of a Graviton Surge, I think. That was darn impressive.
That was beautiful stuff, and it's like he's playing Tetris and he's stacking them together, man. That was disgusting. From beyond the grave, the triple Pulse Bomb kill completely resets. And of course, it allows Selfless to get to 90%. They're going to have the first shot here at taking Nepal Shrine.
Lots of ults flying out here. They're opening up everything available here for LGE, trying to grab this point back, and there are kills going both ways. Selfless down a healer, down a tank, but so is LGE. Earthshatter goes out and catches 2 inside the Graviton Surge. Those tank ultimates really adding up here and working out for for LGE. Even though this was Selfless's map pick, Dak is going to get gunned down and sent back to spawn. Eventually, he's doing a great job bouncing on heads, but he's not going to last too long. Defran is near the point, may be able to extend overtime and allow LGE to get back in, or allow Selfless to get back in.
All right, overtime has actually been triggered. We're now going to be back on. It was only 92% when LGE retook, so this will be the final team fight. Let's see who ends up winning this conclusively. Jake getting the first kill onto Kresnik. No shield there, making it absolutely massive. Super just having such a huge advantage for his team right now as they continue to press. LG Evil looking to snap their authority here. 4 kills in a row for them. This must surely be it. Selfless cannot possibly come back on, and the first sub-map goes the way of Luminosity Evil.
All right, so that's a great start for them. They won the first fight and won the last fight. Those are the 2 most important. So, Jake asking for a pause already, but we have the next stage at least loaded up. We can see that it is going to be the Village, but Selfless already up 1-0 in this series. Would like to avoid taking it to a 3rd map if possible, so they will be battling back here. The same composition locked in, at least for the first second that it's possible. But I'm curious if we're going to see any Pharahs pop out. I think the soldiers on both sides are actually formidable enough that we're not going to be seeing too many aerial tactics from these squads.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Defran and Jake are just so valuable on the hit scan there that it makes it difficult to justify them switching off to Pharah. Could they do it for a bit? I can see it potentially happening, but I can't really see them picking and then sticking with the Pharah on this point. They've just been too influential. And more importantly, they buy space on that hit scan to mean that people can't come out and peek around corners as easily, allowing people like Sinatra to go in and actually get the flanking damage they need done.
Well, at this point, LGE, I think they combined with their ultimates much more efficiently than the Hollywood map. I think that Selfless were unable to avoid the Graviton plus Earthshatter this time. As they fled from one, they got caught by the other. So nice correction there, I'll say. But any moment we will get right back into the action. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for coming to check out the Rivalcade Overwatch Rumble. This $10,000 tournament has taken place across multiple days, actually. We had qualifiers all the way back on Tuesday, in which some of the teams made it all the way to the playoffs. But we are winding down now. Only a couple of matches left. If you're just joining us, LG Evil versus Selfless is basically playing for 4th place, while we've got Envious and Rogue ahead of them. So whoever wins here, still quite a large mountain to climb if they're going to be trying to take back 1st place.
A very big mountain to climb, but what a story it would be. Winning this, going through Envious and going through Rogue, is something that would be written into Overwatch legend right now if someone is able to do that here. And of course, one of these teams will have that opportunity at the moment. Selfless defending an advantage, but not on Nepal, where Luminosity Gaming have fought back to go 1-0 up. Of course, it is going to be a best-of-5 sub-maps as we prepare to attack on the Village stage.
Okay, looking across all these compositions, not seeing any surprises here. Everyone's sticking to their mains for this one, and Train on the Roadhog has been struggling a little bit compared to Emong's Roadhog. Emong, of course, one of the best Roadhogs in North America at the moment, is one of the most dangerous threats. He can just be a one-man apocalypse from time to time, getting multiple kills, but LG are going to loop around the far edge. They've got the sustain comp compared to Selfless, so they're going to try and outlast and win this first fight again by forcing Selfless to come to them.
staying on the high ground and peppering them with damage so far. Not really any serious commitment. Train looking for a hook, actually going down to about 1/3 health. Oh, and Defran actually gets taken out. Avast with the final hit there, but he got shot in the back about 12 times. Not pleasant at all. Jake going to be following up with the kills afterwards. It's currently 4v4 by the looks of things on the point, with a couple of bodies from both sides. Actually, everyone touching the point right now is dying on the part of Selfless. They have to be a little bit careful. Sinatra, not close enough to make a difference.
Sinatra actually already earned a pulse bomb and dropped a pulse bomb and got a kill with it. So before he's sent back to spawn, unfortunately, it was not enough. As the hook comes in onto Jake, he manages to scamper out of there, but a nano-boosted Reinhardt gets put to sleep right away by Michael 3D. So Selfless still making some small plays here and there to allow themselves better odds of making it in. They're in really high health here. Another pulse bomb goes flying out there. Sinatra's earned 2 already in this round.
And Jake looking to zone out actually with the ultimate. There is not able, oh wow, wasn't able to get Tracer, but an amazing predictive Helix rocket, and Sinatra blinks straight into it. Now we have a big brawl on the point. Using the sound barrier to start things off, though, has bought the team an awful lot of time. Defrag grabbing a double as Selfless look to assert their authority there, and they flip the point from 41%.
41% is a pretty good take for getting your foot on the point first, and it's not so hard on Village to retake as compared to Shrine, as you do have basically 4 or 5 different entry points that you can take. That's why you see Selfless actually all taking the high ground here, so they can react quickly to wherever LGE actually present themselves. But there are a couple of ults coming online here, the big ones, Graviton Surge and Earth Shatter, both going to be available here for LGE. Kresnik has a Shatter of his own to try to counter with. Let's see how it unfolds.
Vol doing it good. He has the Graviton available, and there we go. It gets used on the point. The tanks are all over it right now. Earthshatter coming on in, and boom, 3 people going down. Michael 3D in the back is completely flattened as well, and that is a triple kill for the tanks. Defran with the Constellation. Did I say Constellation? Double, but he eventually goes down too.
Unfortunately, the attack visor was committed a little late. I'm curious why he decided that was going to be the best time to do it when half his team had already been counter earth-shattered by a nano-boosted super Reinhardt and taken out. So maybe a bit iffy on that one, but Selfless are going to bound back in here. Someone's already, Sinatra, actually trying to flip the point himself, has about 50% of the capture before the fight even starts. Sinatra and Defran finding kills quickly onto Train and Avast gives them a great opportunity. Sinatra with another pulse bomb flying out does get a kill this time, and Selfless and LGE both have about 2 players left. This time, Dak and Vol both going to fall, so it's Defran versus Super 1v1 for the point. Super, of course, is going to last as long as he can to keep it from flipping. He's going to get up to about 77, now more, as Avast returns from spawn.
And the Vast managing to delay slightly longer, but unfortunately cannot actually stop the tide. And Selfless will be able to retake on 45% versus 81 right now, all the way back up to the high ground, like you said, Joshy, to hunt for the best angle to observe where these guys are going to be attacking in from. It will be the main door once again, though, as we see Train and Super leading the charge.
Graviton Surge and Earthshatter both ready again. Kresnik does not have the counter available this time, so LGE, this is their best opportunity here with the ults that they have. Super does manage to stay alive through some big damage. Emong hooks him from behind his shield, though, and is able to grab the kill. We've got a 5v5 on the point. Kresnik whiffs a charge, unfortunately, does not have his shield up, falls pretty low on health, but a nano-boosted Sinatra Pulse Bomb takes out Zarya in one shot. The follow-up there on Train and Rod 420 means that it's going to be Selfless retaining the point, making it very close to 100%. LGE have one more opportunity here.
3 ultimates versus 0. Luminosity Gaming Evil will have to use those to take the point. It looks like they'll have a nano boost available as well from Rob 420. Very close, actually, to all 6 now that we take a look at it. But something has to happen right now. Defran actually taking out Jake just before he can use the ultimate. Everyone else on the point now. There's the Graviton Surge. Rob 420 dies before the nano is available. There is still an Earth Shatter now, and we have finally got Avast with the sound barrier as well. But Sinatra and Emong both getting on the board. Oh my god.
Surprise, another pulse bomb kill. Emong gets in there with the whole hog as well, and Selfless tie things up 1-1 here on Nepal. We'll be headed into Sanctum. We'll see if anyone takes the Orisa bait or not. I do expect Emong to stay on the Roadhog just for those environmental kill potentials, but Orisa has been picked a couple of times by a couple of different teams, and LGE perhaps may want to try to switch things up. Vol, the Zarya is really good here. Graviton Surge can win some fights, but if you can get some free kills with environmental kills, why not?
Joshy, that was 3 ultimates, plus the other 3 being at 85% plus, versus no ultimates, and Selfless won that convincingly. That was superb in the final seconds of that point.
Well, Emong had his whole hog going, at least.
Oh, I guess, yeah, halfway through the fight, he was able to get... But I just thought, with that amount of ultimates, I mean, Defran at the very beginning completely shutting everything. That was just really nicely done at the end.
Indeed, indeed. And here we go, bouncing toward the point. Vol is going to switch it up, but not to Orisa, actually going to the Genji. So triple DPS plus Winston, that is dive there, but Rob420 not playing the Ana. He's going to be on Zenyatta, so they're going to be discording and leaping on things, while LGE are, while Selfless are actually going to stick to their tried and true Selfless 6.
Defran going down very early on there, Train managing to sneak up behind and getting a nice clip onto Soldier 76. Emong looking for that early pick, but not able to find anything with the hook just now. The team's now a little bit more together as they get slightly closer to the point. Super doing a good job of disrupting, leaping once again, and actually trapping Kresnik in the corner. He goes down as well, and it looks like the first point is going to be going the way of Luminosity Gaming.
Yeah, lots of kills adding up there, and LGE grabbed the point first. I think, is this the third time in a row they've been able to do it? They're actually very, very consistent at it. Even with the composition switch up, they're able to do it once more, and Selfless will be sent back to spawn nowhere close to any ultimates, while over on LGE, everyone's over half already.
Yeah, it very nicely started by Luminosity Evil. I think you're absolutely right. It is the third time in a row they've been able to do this, and it's really important as well. Even though the scorelines are 1-1, just giving yourself that advantage early on in the game really means an awful lot. And now they're moving on to the point while LG are kind of surrounding them from all sides, now leaping in to try and prevent the very, very quick cap in the middle of the fight. Everyone ducking into the room in the back there, the little chimney sweep. Everyone's still alive, but kind of stuck behind the pillar.
There's a pulse bomb going out onto the shield, actually kills Defran, getting a little bit too close to Kresnik on that one. Sound Barrier catches only 4 people, but the kills are adding up now as it appears the nano-boosted Zarya, Sinatra actually zapping some people down. Vol actually departing the Zarya, Sinatra jumping on the Zarya is pretty interesting, but Selfless do have an opportunity to take the point here, with Train really being their only opposition on the point. But they're not killing him.
Yeah, exactly. Train continues to do so much damage here. Rob420 as well, being so frustrating as the Zenyatta. Everyone running after him, looking for that easy kill, but he has completely denied them. And that's bought Jake enough time to come back and grab a double. So that will be comfortably enough for them to retain the point. 80% versus 0. LGE this time around. This is looking a lot more one-sided.
I can't believe Train survived the whole time. Selfless had mass kills and decided not to try and sweep up to flip it back. I don't know. Maybe something was just grabbing their attention, but Train was just kind of bouncing around and managed to get it from 60 to 80% kind of on his own. And now we're at a position where they could 100-0 if Selfless don't battle back in here right now. Super is going to pop the Primal Rage to try and get some environmental kills. Sound Barrier going to help out immensely here from Avast. Dak is nowhere close. There's a Graviton Surge here for Selfless, but no one's stuck in it. So Super finds a kill onto Sinatra, but Selfless still finding the kills as the fight breaks down.
Train now getting targeted from 3 or 4 different angles, finally going down on the point. It's into overtime, but it looks like the point will finally flip. That's okay, though. 99% means one and done. Nano boost on Emong. Why?
You know, just to have a nice glowing orange Roadhog. I don't know. Had to be a fat finger. Cool. I don't expect Michael 3D to go switch and spawn or anything like that after using it, but it's completely wasted. But the Pulse Bomb is going to go flying out. No kills with it, but Super is going to fall extremely low health, so they can't really punch their way in. Defran on the Tracer at the moment is going to be popped first, and the Sound Barrier here from Dak going to try and keep them healthy in this 6v5 situation, but Vol has the Dragon Blade out. He gets hooked in by Emong and shut down completely.
Very nicely done to start things off here. They still have a job to do, but this has started exactly how they wanted. Sumatra managing to finish off Super 2. Transcendence comes on in, but that's after a couple of kills have been made. They really have to make the most of this, and they're not getting the crucial picks that they need. So I don't think they'll be able to flip it anytime soon. Everyone is back alive, but not everyone on the point. Continuing to defend. Michael 3D managing to dodge out of the way of the Pulse Bomb there as Defran goes ahead and says hello to the Valley.
Defran fell into the pit. Why? How? I don't know what happened there. I just saw the Tracer fall in, and Sinatra is going to get the Nano Boost again on his Zarya. He is actually sitting around 70% energy, still climbing with that bubble up, but it's going to be Jake just trying to get some shots in from long range. Boop onto Reinhardt. Kresnik goes down into the pit. Avast with a nice play there, trying to get LGE, back in control of the point. Michael 3D is alone in the back of the point here. Primal Rage going to be triggered here by Super to try and get some environmental kills, but it seems LGE have done it. Overtime's going to start to trickle down, and Dak and Sinatra are the only ones there. Sinatra gets rejected. Dak tries to drop the Sound Barrier, but gets popped before it lands.
Every time I hear, oh, let's break it, a little part of me inside just smiles. And I think actually the Defran pit jump was in response to maybe a knee-jerk response to the pulse bomb that came out from Trade, immediately jumping out of the way and going, oh, hang on a second, there's no ground here.
I've gone too far this time. As he just
rewind? Can I get a rewind? No?
That's a feels bad, man. Anytime you die on D.Va, Tracer, Pharah as an environmental kill just because you don't have your cooldown and you've goofed up, feels really bad. But Selfless are, in fact, going to lose that point. LGE had perhaps their best showing yet, and they're going to be moving back onto Shrine now, where they did win this first round of Nepal. So this could be where they try to close it out and force that third map Dorado.
2-1 to LG Evil. They need to close this out on Shrine. They did an excellent job of grabbing the point first. The first time around, let's see if they can do the same again. Jake off to one side as the rest of the team continue to follow him. So everyone on the right and on the stairs, leaving us open to a potential flank, but only having one side to defend from. Super going and swinging very forward of him, but he doesn't actually get any damage. Good positioning, though.
Well, the LGE team just has way more HP than the Selfless team, so they're able to force them back. They stand on the point first. Avast is going to be the first one down, though, so Selfless not out of this fight just yet. Emong doing his job, hooks in Roadhog, but you don't hook Roadhog first. That's asking to be taken down, and it's still a 5v5 here, even though LGE have claimed the point. Sinatra going to toss that Pulse Bomb so quickly again. It's actually not Sinatra, it's Defran. Oh my goodness, Defran on the Tracer even made me screw it up on that one, but he generated the Pulse Bomb as quick as Sinatra would have and gets the kills.
Yeah, very nicely done. Sinatra, by the way, grabbing a triple kill himself, but it's not obviously on the Pulse Bomb because he is playing Zarya as he picks up the triple. So doing an excellent job there, and between them basically responsible for 5 out of the 6 kills as Luminosity Gaming look for plan B now.
Right, Selfless, after dislodging LGE, they've got only a nano boost to work with here, while Reinhardt could shatter on the side of LGE anytime. There he goes, right into the shield. Not a good bait there. I think the nano boosted Roadhog behind him may have been tried to use as bait, but the shatter does not connect. It's going to be a nano boost onto Kresnik himself now, missing a pin on Vol, but the whole hog coming out from Emong. He's extremely low health. If they're able to focus him, he's not going to get anything done, but Vol and Super both down now. Graviton Surge comes flying out for Sinatra. Selfless trying to capitalize on it, but LGE still in decent shape as this fight breaks down. There's a hook from Emong onto Train, but Train still gets the kill before going down.
Really nice delay actually there from a Roadhog, using the whole hog as soon as they got Graviton Surge to prevent Reinhardt rather from charging in and just zoning everyone out. That Train actually allowed his team to survive a good 10 seconds longer, but they couldn't quite convert it into a couple of kills. It was a nice attempt though.
Here come LGE once more. They have a sound barrier to work with. Dak does not, so Kresnik's Earth Shatter going to have to be very important here. Pulse Bomb goes flying out, but no damage is done in the end. Sound barrier comes out here for Avast first. Dak not quite up to it himself yet, but Selfless are still mopping up. Defran finding a double kill there on Deval, and Rob420 is filling Sinatra's Tracer shoes quite admirably.
Definitely so. Defran just picking up where Sinatra left off. It's almost like they got up and just swapped computers and went, yeah, let's go ahead and keep going. He's being very sneaky towards the spawn, trying to look for Avast. Doesn't quite get the kill, but you can kind of see the intent there. Back on the high ground and really just trying to stop Luminosity from getting towards the point. 70%. They can't afford a 20 seconds to go in. Oh my god, that's a big bang. And triple, no, quad kill coming out from Defran there. That setup was absolutely gorgeous from Selfless.
We saw the triple Pulse Bomb, no grab earlier. Now we've seen the quad kill Pulse Bomb. That was a huge bang combination, and even would have killed Super himself if he wasn't nano boosted. So 5 quintuple kill actually denied by the nano boost, but LGE are going to get fully reset. They're fighting their way back in here against the whole hog, though. Emong using that ult immediately to try and bounce them off the point. 98%, 99%, but it is going to be Soldier actually touching the point just to extend that overtime. So LGE not out of it yet. They find the kill onto Defran. Dak also finding himself in very low health. Sinatra falling down as well to very low health. LGE seem to have the sustain to be able to get this done here. Jake with the tactical visor mopping up.
And Defran once again, the critical playmaker, as soon as he got hooked by Roadhog, well, the rest of the team seemed to fall apart a little bit, but he was right there waiting for the flank once more. He's been all over, and I have to say, I mean, they call this Tracer's Playground for a reason, right? But Defran is really showing us what it looks like in practice.
So LGE, they did expend a lot of ultimates to be able to get on the point finally and prevent that round loss. They are trying to seal up the map here and move to game 3 if they can, but here comes the Nano Boost. Pulse Bomb goes flying out. Whole Hog also just shut down. Train just started his when Dufran's Pulse Bomb connected and got the kill. There's a Nano Boost still active, but it's going to be Selfless still grabbing up all the kills here. LGE falling by the wayside. They have a Sound Barrier out, but it only caught 3 people. Vol is going to get powered down. Soon it's going to be a Vast. Jake trying to just stay near the point and maybe juice that percentage, but he can't do it. Selfless are going to flip the point back, and no one from LGE is even close here to be able to contest.
Michael 3D combining with the friend there. The Pulse Bomb after the Nano Boost just getting so much damage done, allowing the rest of the team to keep that sustain going and clearing up. There goes the Graviton Surge as well as the Sound Barrier, but all of the kills are going in one direction at the moment, and Selfless will be able to turn this into a 5 sub-map contest.
Oh man, that's a big change up from being up 2-1 to now being almost eliminated from the tournament. That changes the pressure on you considerably as we move back over to the village. Sanctum is at least not going to be played a second time here. Those environmental kills can really screw up your composition math and your ultimate math if, let's say, Reinhardt happens to get booped in while he still has Earthshatter available. So we are just going to have, a straight up bare knuckle brawl here in the village. And last time I believe it was Selfless coming out on top, so perhaps they will be able to repeat that performance. In the last round, we did see a switch up from Train just at the very end, moving over to the Pharah, but he was just trying to get back into battle as quickly as he could, hopping over those obstacles, and didn't work out, obviously, but as the doors open this time, it's going to be Selfless playing the same comp that they just did, so I'm not going to be fooled by Dufran's Pulse Bombs again. Sinatra sticking on the Zarya.
Yeah, they have been very effective on here. Dufran and Sinatra just playing off each other so well. Impressive to see Dufran just pick up where Sinatra left off in terms of the Tracer play. Trey is going to get the first kill off, though, spotting the kill on the Michael 3D, and Emong actually getting the first hook as well onto Rob420, but not able to get the kill.
LGE still looking solid. Train finds the kill onto Kresnik. Sinatra is going to have to be bounced away. He's actually all the way back at the door as the rest of his team starts to get mopped up. Dufran, Emong, Dak all down now, but it's going to be Dufran actually generating a Pulse Bomb here for the second attempt. LGE grabbed the point first. I think is that 5 for 5 or maybe at least 4 out of 5?
He's going to have to change his name to Freight Train at this rate. 4 of those final blows coming from Roadhog. Every single hook landing for Train. He has switched something on right about now. I mean, we know he's good, but that was impressive coming out of him. Looking for Emong as well, trying to get a little bit of shotgun action there. Not quite before he manages to heal, but he is doing so much sustained damage. Gets to Fran. Goodbye.
Jake with the tactical visor is a huge amount of damage. Selfless can't stand up to it. Even though Super got nano boosted on the Reinhardt, he got put to sleep right away. So Selfless may have been able to work with that, but the tactical visor just turns out Soldier was a little bit too far out of reach for anyone to be able to deal with. And this time, Super will have the Earthshatter ready to go. If Emong happens to pop a whole hog in his face, Super could just shut him down. We've got a Graviton Surge relatively close here for Vol as well. So LGE looking pretty for this next fight.
Emong looking for opportunities here. 52%. Oh, wow. And actually, 3/4 of the objective getting taken by Dufran. There's the nano boost, and there is the whole hog. Nothing to shut him down so far. Just going to let it play out. Manages to get Lucio as well. Avast going down very early in this fight. Looking for the second support. Rob420 goes down as well, and Selfless are looking good.
Pulse Bomb goes off. Dufran gets the kill onto Super. Train Vol also being eliminated. Gives Selfless their first taste of some percentage here on the village, but 73% is perhaps the best start that LGE's had yet, and they are in a position where if they can grab it back without using too many of their ultimates, they may be able to take this game home.
Very true there, Joshy, and they are almost in one and done territory. 73%, a little bit borderline. Now moving in, Avast immediately using the Sound Barrier, but gets Graviton straight away, dueling by the looks of things. Both sides with the Graviton Surge. Kresnik gets 2 with the Earthshatter and manages to clean up Jake. That could end up being the difference maker here. Excellent bionic grenade, and Rob420 is going to go down with the rest of them. Kresnik grabs himself a triple.
That was a nice play on the Reinhardt. Nano Boost was used on him right as he ate the purple grenade, so he was unable to do anything, already extremely low health. I think that Rob420 was planning on juicing him up with a nade of his own, but it actually doesn't cancel out purple. So well-timed there by Michael 3D to just get the shutdown, make sure that they have some breathing room here. LGE are going to be returning. Super has the chance for the Earthshatter this time. Kresnik did a good job in the last fight, but Emong going to start the fight with the whole hog. Dufran tosses out a Pulse Bomb, doesn't find the kill, but The damage was there. Here's the Earthshatter catching 3 on Selfless, but the damage follow-up is not there.
Yeah, unfortunately, managing to get Lucio on the edge there as well. But like you say, Joshy, where was the rest of the team? They're certainly coming in now, though, being extremely aggressive. Ball getting 1 kill, but they need to be careful. That nade, once again, really damaging their opportunity as they go ahead and start bleeding hit points. The rest of them are now back on the point. It is anybody's right now, 2/3 of the way of being taken for LGE as Super manages to get back in. Shield on the point is going to be so useful, and this has turned into an all-out brawl with them managing to get a double on Lucio. That could be the difference maker.
Well, we've got Kresnik alone trying to battle for the point here. He gets eventually taken out there by Super and Jake and Avast, but LGE have flipped it back. 90% is a really good first stretch here for Selfless. They are in a position now to potentially take the map as well, but Sinatra's Graviton Surge probably going to be pretty pivotal here. Kresnik Earthshatter, if it finds 3 again, this could all be over as there are no ultimates to work with for LGE. Very close to a sound barrier for Avast, but he's going to need it.
The winner of this next fight will basically be the winners here. The first hook going the way of LGE. They don't actually get their kills, though. Both sides using the sound barriers a little bit later, actually. That could be an advantage for LGE. Massive Earthshatter to ultimates coming out from everywhere, and 2 kills coming out from Selfless to start things off. DeFran still looking to be able to get the damage, trying to get the flip. They're about 80% done at the moment. Reinhardt's chasing each other. He gets the kill onto Super. He's basically one-man banding with Roadhog on the point, and the Nano Boost is going to be able to move them away.
The nano-boosted Emong Roadhog doing the damage they expected out of him, and Tactical Visor is going to be used just because it is the last possible fight, so he did his best, but of course he's going to come away empty as the percentage reaches 100%. It's going to be Selfless taking the 2-0 and moving on to the lower bracket finals to face Envious in a VO3.
And DeFran, well, rather suitably getting play of the game here. I mean, so much was done. We kind of expected this. Beautiful Graviton Surge. Oh. Excellent. And I mean, look, Super is on a sliver of health and managing to charge out, not even hitting a target, and getting team killed before anything expired. That was absolutely brutal there. DeFran, 42k, pretty casual amount of damage.
And it was only 26% of his team's damage across 5 rounds. That's actually the most incredible part. Usually, if you see the 42k damage, it's like 40-50% at least. But that means that there were quite a few big hitters on the side of Selfless for that one. And
that would be them swapping it over with Sinatra, right?
Indeed, right. Sinatra was getting the bulk of the damage at the beginning, I suppose. But LGE are going to be eliminated in 4th place. So congratulations to them for actually having a pretty strong tournament run. I don't think that a ton of people expected them to get past Cloud9 the way that they did. So 4th place finish is definitely nothing to sneeze at. But unfortunately, there's no prize money for 4th place. So that means that they are going to walk away as the first losers. And Selfless have secured themselves in the money here.
And they're going